situated here. Put on my headphones. Take a little deep breath, see if I have any hairs on my face. Maybe move this a little closer and say, hey there, welcome back. Today I am trying something very spontaneous. Something that I have always wanted to do, which is to try to do a completely unedited ASMR video, meaning that I push record, I come over here and I sit down, and whatever happens, happens, and I don't edit anything out. I mean, unless there's some terribly loud, ridiculous noise or something that would hurt your eardrums or something, but I don't think that will happen. And I was inspired to sit down and record a video a little bit out of the blue because I just got back from getting my haircut. And I hadn't had a haircut by an actual professional haircutting person for almost 2 years. I have been cutting my hair on my own with help from Justin, with him helping me cut it in the back and try to get it straight. And you may have noticed that my hair has been a little avant-garde over these last months. But I went with my sister today and we had a little sister outing and we got our hair done and went out to lunch. And I am very happy with my new fun haircut. I had her put some layers in the upper part of my hair because that usually helps it to kind of utilize its natural wave and curl a little bit better. And of course she used a blow dryer and a round brush and spritzed some things on it and made it all fancy and smooth, which I never do myself. I don't use any styling implements on my hair at all. I don't even blow dry it. Again, I am probably the most low maintenance ASMR creator that there is because I just don't spend a lot of time getting ready in my real life, so I don't do that for my videos either. So it is a real treat for me to have someone else spiff me up a little bit. So I like this, and this is my natural hair color. I used to color my hair a lot during a different phase of my life. I used to like to do a lot of different hair colors, and I do think that can be fun, but again, I've just been being extremely low maintenance with my hair in recent years, so this is the natural Devan color, and I'm really happy with how that's looking, and I'm thankful that my hair is healthy, and probably because I don't do a lot to it. And so anyway, I wanted to show you my haircut, and already this it does feel very freeing to not feel like I have to be perfect in this video. I mean, I'm always pretty laid back and go with the flow in my videos, but I really am just going to go with whatever happens in this video. And I grabbed just a few of my favorite props, so I would have something to work with here. So I will give you some sounds from the magical cactus pouch. I haven't utilized the cactus pouch for a while. And you know what? I'm going to pause right now and I'm going to smile with the cactus pouch. Are you ready? So that I don't forget at the end and end up without a thumbnail. I do that all the time in my videos. I forget to take a picture for the thumbnail, and then I have to try to take a screenshot from the video, and those never come out as well. So I'm just giving you all the little behind the scenes details of that. And one of the things I've most been editing out of my videos lately have been sort of like my throat sounds and my mouth sounds. Sometimes I feel like you can hear too much, I don't know, like squishy sounds of my mouth when I'm talking. And I don't know why. I'm not always, I mean, it's even when I'm farther away from the mic, and I don't really hear that in other ASMR artists' videos, even people who are also using the good old standard Blue Yeti. So I don't know. So hopefully it doesn't bother you. But so sometimes I edit out like when I swallow because I feel like the swallowing sounds weird, but I'm going to include all of my sounds in this little video, in this little spontaneous, unedited, that means no edits, ASMR. See, and sometimes my house creaks like that. Did you hear that? Sometimes the room just randomly goes like meh, and like makes a creaking, cracking sound. And so sometimes I try to edit those out as well. And see there, I just swallowed. See, these are all the things that my perfectionist brain sometimes wants to edit out. And I mean, it's mainly just because I want the video to be very enjoyable for you, and I don't want there to be any unpleasant or sharp or weird distracting sounds. But I know some people really like a lot of mouthy sounds, or people enjoy having background sounds. So that's the beautiful thing about ASMR. Pretty much anything you could take out or leave in would be something that some people will love and think is tingly and relaxing, and other people will not like it and it will grate on them and not be something that they enjoy. So you just never know. You just never know. And I really did not plan for this video beyond my haircut reveal. Actually, that's not true. I do have one other thing. I brought the other blind date with a book. I brought my other blind date book from that video because I finished it and it was good. And so I'm not going to do as long of a review on it as I did on Divine Rivals, but stay tuned if you are interested in that book. I will pick it up here in some unspecified amount of time because I didn't plan this, and I will let you know a little bit about it and what I thought of it. But for now, I'm kind of into tapping on the cactus pouch, so I want to do that for a little longer. I do consider this kind of one of my signature props, along with the fuzzy pink mic cover. I'm very pink, aren't I? My fuzzy pink mic cover, and this pink sweater, which has become my favorite sweater, I think, this season, because it's very soft and just very comfortable, and I like it. And then my pink pouch, which I haven't really used for much other than tapping and having it displayed on my bookshelf, and that's okay. Sometimes it's nice to have something just because it's pretty, just because it is pretty. And let me see, since I'm here just randomly hanging out with you all, I will give you just a short little personal update because several of you have been kind enough to ask lately how my husband Justin is doing, because you all have been with us over this past year for his mental health journey and the journey of his bipolar 1 diagnosis and all that he and I have experienced together. And it has been almost a year since his manic episode. It happened, well, it peaked in mid-March last year, and so it was really this time a year ago that he was starting to exhibit signs of mania. I just didn't know at the time that that's what they were. This was when it was kind of starting to happen. And so he and I have been reflecting a lot on that time, and I am really happy to report that he is just doing so well. He has not had any recurring symptoms or any signs of having another episode, which is pretty amazing because often people with bipolar 1 do have these ebbs and flows of having mania and depression and then evening out. But sometimes it's also the case that people sometimes just have one manic episode and then often have the following depression, which Justin did have. And then sometimes if they are able to control their symptoms with medication and lifestyle habits and, doing things to support their mental health, then they might never have an acute episode again. And so, not to say that that might not happen for Justin in the future, and we are much more prepared for that if that were to happen, since we know what we're dealing with now. But he is just doing great. He is doing wonderful. And we have continued our healthy supportive habits of removing as much stress as we can from our lives. We do yoga together every morning and every evening. We meditate together. We take walks outside. We'll also be celebrating a year of being completely sober because we stopped using cannabis during Justin's episode, and neither of us has drank alcohol in quite a few years either. So our complete sobriety is something for us that is really important to celebrate, and coming up on a year of that and this change in our lifestyle and not being numbed out to things like we had been sometimes in the past, fully feeling our feelings and being with where we are, whatever is happening. That's just been really, it's been hard sometimes, obviously. We've had a lot to deal with and a lot of ups and downs, but we are just in a really good place. And I've been promising forever that I would get Justin on here to do a video with me because he loves ASMR too. And I just wanted to, make sure that he was in a place where he was feeling, up for doing it and feeling confident and excited to do it. And he is at that place now. So I promise again that coming soon in the next few weeks, we will record a video together because I think that would be a nice way to celebrate how far we've come in the last year together and celebrate his recovery and how well he is doing. And he has been back at work since last August, and that has gone extremely well. He is doing wonderfully and hasn't had any issues with his cognition as far as being able to perform his job, and he was really able to be honest and communicate with his workplace about what was going on, and so was able to make some adaptations to his job so that he doesn't have as much stress as he did before. And so it's all just really, really good, and our relationship is good. Him being in mania and then in depression and, going through the times early on when he didn't know me and he really wasn't himself, and then navigating the depression and navigating the uncertainty in our lives was a challenge for our relationship, of course, and, I think it would be for anyone. And we have just really, brought ourselves together, and I think we're both being our true selves in a way that we hadn't before. And I mean, we've been together a long time. In February, we celebrated the 25th anniversary of us dating because we officially became a couple in February of 1999. So we have been together for 25 years. When we first became boyfriend and girlfriend in 1999. In the previous century, the previous millennia. Wild to think about that. So yeah, so that's my little update. Just to let you know that we are doing really well and we are feeling very hopeful about the future. And we are both continuing to really prioritize our mental health. And I'm very thankful to all of you for your kindness and your care and your compassion and your support to me as I have navigated all of this. So thank you for listening. Okay, so I think I will put down the pouch now and I will pick up this library book. For those of you who maybe aren't as into the book ASMR, I know there has been a lot of it this month. So for those of you who like it, it's a special treat. And for those who aren't as into it, thank you for indulging me. So I'm not going to do as full and involved as of a review for this book as I did for the other one, but this is Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. This was my second blind date with a book in the category of science fiction. And both this book and Divine Rivals, which was my other blind date book, really brought home to me again how you just cannot trust these little inner flap descriptions. Like, sometimes they're just not accurate. I mean, when I go back and read them afterwards, sometimes I realize they just sometimes say things in these jacket descriptions that just aren't really quite right. As far as the plot, I don't know exactly how that happens or why that happens. But because this book has, you know, a lot of tendrils to it, I think they tried to kind of cram too much into this little description. And so when I read it in my unveiling of the books video, it kind of seemed a little convoluted and maybe overly complicated and didn't appeal to me a lot. It didn't appeal to me. I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to read this book. But I had it, and you know, it's not that long of a book and pretty big print. So I decided to give it a go, and I thought if I don't like it a few chapters in, I don't have to finish it. That's the beauty of a library book. There's kind of like no obligation. You just, you know, get to try out a book. And if you don't like it, just take it back. Some miraculous, wonderful system there. And I ended up really liking this book. So what I will tell you is that if you are a fan of time travel and multiple timelines, then I think you will like this book. There are, I don't know, at least 4 different time periods, timelines that are connected through this, and there is time travel between the different times, and I won't give away the details of that. And what it reminded me of, it was interesting. It has a little bit of, I would say, how should I say this? See, I'm not editing, so I'm thinking this through. I would say it has like a dash of The Matrix in it, just a dash. It has a dash of IQ84, which is a book series that I really liked, except this doesn't have any of the sort of overt adult themes, shall we say, that those books have in them. And this really made me think of 12 Monkeys. Now, I've never actually read the book 12 Monkeys, which I should read. I only saw the film once a long time ago, and it's a Bruce Willis film if you haven't seen it, and it really stuck with me at the time because of the time travel elements and the whole, like, people going back in time multiple times and changing multiple things and everything being intertwined, and I really got that kind of a vibe from this book. And there is also a theme around viruses and pandemics in this book, which makes it seem maybe a little dire, but that's not, the actual illnesses aren't a huge focus of it. It's just an interesting book. It is definitely trippy in a good way, and definitely kind of weird, and has some twists in it. I figured out a couple of the twists ahead of time. I was proud of myself. But the very final twist I didn't really see until like right before it was revealed, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, that's so cool. And, oh, see, I hit my mic, but I won't edit that out. And I just really like time travel books that ultimately end up recognizing that if time travel ever were to exist, there would really be no controlling it. I think so much time travel is about trying to go back and like do a specific thing or change a specific thing, and that would really be impossible because there are just too many factors involved. It may surprise all of you to know, maybe I've mentioned this before, this is an unexpected Devan fact, that I am a huge fan of the Terminator movies, the original 3 Terminator movies, even the third one with Claire Danes in it that always gets maligned. I even like that one. And then I do like the more modern one, recent one that was out with Christian Bale in it. And there have been some more since then, and I don't know, once franchises kind of go off the original rails, I usually don't bother to try to stick with it. But that's what I love about the Terminator movies, is the whole time travel element, and would it be possible to go back in time and actually change something, or would that thing continue to happen in a different way no matter what, if it was destined to happen? I just like those kind of timelines and questions like that. And this is very well written, and I liked the characters. And so if you are a sci-fi fan and you like time travel type books that are a little weird, and I mean it's a little bit dark, but it also has a lot of hopeful threads in it as well. So both of my blind dates with a book, I was not that excited about reading just from reading the inner flaps of the books, and then I ended up really liking both of the books. So I think I have proven that old saying, not to judge a book by its cover, or by its inner cover, I guess, in this case, because I ended up liking them. So that has inspired me to choose just more random books from the library, and not even, worry that much about the description. I do go by the actual cover sometimes, I will admit, and I did like both of the actual covers of these books. I liked the artwork, so maybe I should judge the book by its cover, just not its inner cover. But I did end up liking and enjoying both of my blind dates with a book. So a couple of you had asked me about this one, and whether either Justin or I had ended up reading it. So I did just want to give you a little update. And I did, let me see, I grabbed one more prop from my little prop box because I didn't know what I was going to be doing in this video. This is a candle tin that no longer has a candle in it. And, oh, it still smells nice. It still smells like vanilla nutmeg, cardamom. So I will just tap on this a little bit to wrap up this little video. This was really fun. I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud that the perfectionist in me has taken a back seat for long enough for me to sit down here and do a spontaneous, unedited ASMR video. Oh, I think my tummy just rumbled a little bit. I don't know if you could hear that. That's something else that maybe I would edit out, but not this time, friends. Not this time. And I think Justin and I are going to go to art hour at the library here in a little bit. And now I can return that library book now that I have shared it with you. And if you would like to see more library books, let me know. I can do a library book haul perhaps in the future. And if you're sick of library books, that's okay. You can let me know that too. And let me know what you thought of the video that I most recently posted, which was a little more, dare I say, fast and aggressive. I always hesitate to use the word aggressive in ASMR because, I don't really feel aggressive towards anyone. But that seems to be the term for when you do things, that are a little quicker and a little more doodly-dee, doodly-doo, doodly-doodly-doo, a little more like right up there. And I don't really know what got into me the other day when I was recording. I just kind of felt the energy of it and picked up the pace and felt like doing some of that style, which I do enjoy watching sometimes. I really like Sky ASMR's fast and aggressive style videos. Abby ASMR has a few. Sarah Lavender has a few of that style that I like. And I find those can be good if I really want to get tingles, like quick tingles, or if I'm really having racing thoughts about something and I want to just really clear my mind. If you get something else in your mind that's also racing a little bit, sometimes those things can cancel each other out. So even though in general I am more of a slow, although I'm tapping pretty fast right now, more of a slow and gentle ASMR person, it was fun to try something different. So let me know what you thought of that. And if there's anything else you'd like to see as we move into the spring season. So exciting. So exciting that we're coming up to spring. I mean, it's still pretty cold here where I am, and it will be quite a while before we get to the spring blooms, but I am feeling some springtime in my heart. On a last mental health note, I had been feeling really lethargic lately and just really kind of heavy in body and in spirit. And so the other day I randomly just turned on some really good music, some David Wax Museum. He's an artist I really like. His song Guest House is one of my favorite dance party songs, Guest House by David Wax Museum. If you want to look that up, maybe I'll put a link to that in the description to this video. And I put on the music and I danced my heart out. Also the song Many Mountains by my friend Nate Gusakoff, another good song. I will put in the comments. Oh my goodness, I just coughed, so I will have to edit that out. Okay, so this video has one edit. It's not quite completely unedited. But I put on those songs and I danced around and really shook out my body, and it felt really good. So I recommend that to you if you need to shake off the springtime blues. Have yourself a little dance So thanks for hanging out with me for this very spontaneous, unedited ASMR. Thanks for letting me show off my new haircut. It will probably never look quite this nice again since I don't do all the fancy styly things. So I wanted you to see it when it was in peak condition. So I will say to you my traditional little send-off. Take good care of yourself. Rest well. And I'll see you again soon. And then usually at the end of the video, I do whatever trigger I'm doing for a little bit longer so we can fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out. And then you get to see me very ungracefully climb out from behind here. My foot is always a little bit asleep usually by this point, so I climb out around and turn off my phone to finish the video. So I'm going to take out my headphones and go and do that. Thanks, friends. Take care. Okay, I'm taking out my headphones, putting them down, and now I'm going to crawl around